So I'll have you guys go ahead and show me what you've been practicing with the recall stuff, and then we'll move on to the next half. Sit. Good. Good girl.
She gets antsy.
Yeah.
Zoey, come.
Good. And we'll just do a couple more, then we'll swap.
Let me untangle her.
Sit.
Good girl.
Zoey, come.
Good. Try one more, then we'll swap.
Yeah, I know, but I just want to. Wait. So, here we go. Sit. Sit.
Zoey, come.
Good. That's a good speed. There you go. All right, that's pretty good. We're going to swap handlers.
Break.
Good. What's your number right now?
21. Do you want it higher?
No. What we'll try on this next one is I'm gonna have you do 3 taps back to back to see if it gets a little pep. The last one she did with you was pretty good, that speed. So I'm trying to see if we can get her to move a little bit faster consistently.
So 3 taps of it, like.
Yeah. So Zoey, come, tap, tap, tap.
Oh yeah, you're 27. Sorry, I thought it was 21.
Okay. So you're at 27?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So it'll be Zoey, come, tap, tap, tap.
Okay. Zoey, break. 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 Come on.
Good girl. Oh, excuse me.
Yeah, she was going at a leisurely pace, huh?
Yeah. So we're gonna start being a little bit more strict on like the quality of the returns.
Okay.
Yeah. It's okay.
Oh, it's fine.
It's because she knows it's gonna happen.
Oh, exactly.
Good girl.
She might tangle herself with that front left paw. There we come.
Good.
Good girl.
That was a little faster. You're at 27.
Yeah.
Let's go down to 24, and we're gonna do the same thing with the 3 taps.
Okay. No, no. Zoey, break.
All right,
Break.
do one more.
Break, Zoey. Break. Zoey, come.
Yeah, there we go. A little better. Good.
Good girl.
When you practice with her like in the alley, is it kind of like a slower pace when on the
I notice it's a slower pace when it goes back to him. But
Sure.
if it's to me,
It's
it's
faster.
Like automatic. I think we noticed yesterday when we were practicing it, she was conflicted on like who to go to.
Sure.
And she's a mommy's girl.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she picks up on it after like probably 4 or 5 of them.
Okay.
And then she'll just leisurely go back.
Okay. So what we're gonna do here is
Zoey, break.
we're gonna work on the second half of the recall, and we're gonna make a couple of tweaks to see if we can motivate her to move a little bit more quickly.
Okay.
So for the recall here, you know, when you call Zoey and she arrives, she sits automatically, right?
Yeah.
Now let's say you were to move after she's come to you, like 2 steps back.
Yeah.
What do you think Zoey should do?
She should move.
She should
this
move
way.
with us.
Correct, she should follow you, okay? So we're gonna do what I call my sidestep exercise. Is I do this for 2 reasons. One, it's to cement that once you've called Zoey, she is not to leave your side until given permission.
Okay.
Okay, so once you call Zoey, everything's gonna stay the same. Zoey, come, tap, she comes to you, good girl, and you're gonna let her come to a sit. You're gonna wait a couple of seconds, and then you're gonna move backwards or to the side, like this, you know, left or right. You don't wanna move forward or forward like this, because that looks like heel. Okay, so if I start to move forward like this and she starts walking with me, I don't know if she's healing or like default healing or understanding the concept of staying glued to me, okay? So you'll just take 2 to 3 steps. So Zoey, come, and I might go to my right a couple of steps. I'll stop, wait for her to settle. She sits down, good girl. Move back a couple of steps. She follows, she sits down, good girl. To the side again, she follows, good girl, okay? You do want to give her time to settle first before going to the next movement. You don't want to keep moving all over the place, okay? There are no words here. It's implied that once I call you, you stick to me until I release you.
Okay.
The other purpose of this exercise is it may confuse her. And you'll step away and you'll tap her, and instead of coming closer, she's actually going to run away.
Yeah, we've seen that.
Yeah. So this is going to help fix that. It's a controlled exercise to force that problem so that we can, of course, proof it. So if you move away and tap and Zoey doesn't come to you, you would keep tapping and move backwards. Do not call her.
Okay.
This is a correction.
Right.
Okay? And then reel in your leash, tap as you're moving backwards, draw her back
Are you
in.
tapping the whole time?
Yeah, until she comes to you. So
until she changes the direction.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, until she starts moving towards you, I keep that pressure on. Once she locks on, then you would stop like you would on a normal recall.
Okay.
And then we'll start with you since you already have the leash and everything. And what I'm going to have you try to do as well is when you do the recall here, because you know how we do those movements back? I'm going to have you try moving back a little bit more quickly. So instead of like the standard walk back like we've been doing, is when you do the Zoey come, see if you can do like a
faster,
a little bit of like a light jog,
okay,
and a little bit of energy to see if it'll incentivize her to run more quickly.
Got it.
Okay.
Still 3 taps also.
Yeah, we'll start with 3.
Zoey, come.
Tap, tap, yep. There she goes. A little bit faster there. Atta girl, good girl, good, good girl.
Good girl.
So here, now she's settled. Try 2 steps to your right.
Oh.
There you go. Right, good. Now wait a moment. Now, yeah, let her settle. Tap back, tap, 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 tap. There you go. Good. And then wait a moment, let her settle. So that was a correction. That doesn't count.
Girl.
That doesn't count as a step away. Okay. Try backwards now. Right, good. Wait a moment, let her settle.
Girl. Good girl.
Try to the right again. Right, let her settle. Good. Praise.
Girl.
And we're gonna pause right there. Okay. So, right here, can you see how she's fidgeting around?
Yeah.
That's her thinking. There you go. She's yeah, there. Now back tap, 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 back tap, tap. Yep, there she goes. That girl. Good job. Good.
So why was she fidgeting?
Because she was gonna do that.
But why did she do that? You like?
Oh, because I'm pretty certain she thought you guys were gonna repeat the exercise. She's assuming she's jumping the gun, right? She's like, oh, you're gonna release me. She's gonna grab me. We're gonna do this all over again, right? So here, knowing that, I use that to my advantage. So I wait that moment because all that fidgetiness was her thinking like something's gonna happen, and that's not the case, right? So then she makes the assumption. We use that to our advantage to correct her, bring her back to us, and teach her you never run away from me until I cue that break. Okay? So now go ahead and release, break.
Break. Zoey,
Good.
break.
And we're gonna repeat that 4 more times, then we'll swap handlers. I think the faster movement also drew her in a little bit faster as well. So that was good.
But it's funny because she did the exercise right, and then like you said, she started thinking, oh, I'm gonna do this other exercise.
Yeah.
It's funny. I was like, oh, she's good, and you're like, no, wait a minute.
Yeah. That's why waiting is so important with dogs, because once they learn the pattern, they'll jump the gun
They're
like
good
that.
Pattern readers, huh?
Uh-huh.
I didn't realize. Zoey, come.
Yeah, good, real good. Right.
Which way you want me to go?
Let her, let's see what she does here, because I can see her. You see all that moving around?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
There you go. Just let her settle for a sec. Now try to your right. That's good. So if she moves with you, nothing happens. There we go. Atta girl. Good job.
Good girl. Good girl.
Try backwards 3 steps. 1, 2, 3. Tap, 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 tap. Yep. Good. Now that wasn't the same as last time. That was confusion.
Got it.
Okay.
Yeah, you could see it was like.
Yeah.
Why did she go the other way though? Just she didn't get that she was supposed to fall back?
A lot of times they just get pushed into flight mode. I'm not too sure why, but I see it all the time, which is why I started doing this exercise, because like I know the things that could potentially happen, right? Most people think we teach the recall, the dog comes, it's great. I'm like, yeah, until it doesn't work.
Right.
So that's why all this stuff, we're proofing those things. So if she's fully off leash and that should happen, it's gonna be an easy fix because she's already done it before, okay? Let's try 2 more to the right again. There you go. Right. Add a girl. Praise. Good girl, good girl.
Good girl. Good girl, Zoey.
And pause for a moment. Break.
Zoey, break.
Good. Add a girl.
Girl.
We're gonna do it 3 more times, then we'll swap.
Her left rear paw is a little angled. Don't tangle yourself, huh?
I know, it's a lot of leashes.
Zoey, come.
Good. Good, and here I'll have you do the movements however you'd like.
Good girl. What a leaner. Put all your weight on me, huh?
Right, good. Right, tap, tap, now back, tap, 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 right, good. That was confusion.
Yeah. And you could see, like, as I waited, she was getting confused.
Then you start doing the, yeah, just like the
stepping back also? Okay,
yeah.
that's the part
So if she starts to run off like that, you just start tapping
yeah,
and then moving backwards
not to step back, yeah.
to draw her in, yeah.
Good girl.
Good. Right.
Good girl, Zoey.
Good. Good. And we're gonna pause for a second. And I want you to just like watch her, right? Because right there, did you see that? That little flinch? So that flinch forward is thinking about it, right? Now she holds for a bit, that's good. Now break.
Break, Zoey.
Good.
Break.
Good, 2 more. So when you're practicing this with each other, just reading those cues,
Yeah.
because that's how I'm able to tell if she's gonna do it.
Yeah.
So that one she did think about it, but then it was followed with the like seconds of her being stationary,
Yeah.
and that's how you can see that she resolved the
head,
thought and was like, okay, I'm not gonna go, and then she was good.
Zoey, come.
Right. There we go. Yep.
I tapped one more time when she slowed down. Was that
I
okay?
saw. Was it right there? That's fine.
Yeah.
Good. Right. Good. It's okay. She's just thinking it through. Good girl. Good.
Good girl.
Yeah. All right. Good job. Good girl.
Good girl.
Right. Good. I'm assuming there was a tap there. Oh no. Okay.
Yeah, let her try to see if she would make the decision on her own.
Gotcha. So here,
Good girl.
if you see any delay for the sidestep stuff, I give like a half second.
If what, sorry?
Half second.
If she see what?
If she like, so right there, like she moved, but then she stopped.
Yeah.
After like a half a second, I would have tapped
Oh,
to
okay.
draw her in right away. Okay, you can release.
Zoey, break.
Good. We'll do one more, then we'll swap.
Break. Yeah, her run towards me is still a little slow. That's why I tapped. I was like,
Yeah, and what we can, so there's a couple ways to create more speed. One is through power.
Yeah.
One is through faster movement,
Yeah.
more energy.
Yeah.
Or we can start pairing like high value stuff, like
Got it.
cheese or whatever,
Yeah.
hot dog, turkey, bologna, whatever, to incentivize her to move more quickly.
Got it.
Because here, what you're practicing, and like even when you practice, like when if she's at a park and you're letting her chase squirrels or something, is you're not gonna actually get that speed
Right.
in real life.
Right.
So I try to get it faster here because I know in life it's gonna be slower,
Right.
but at least it'll still be faster.
Right.
Okay.
Zoey, come.
Good. There you go. That was correct. Good.
I should have tapped here.
You didn't tap?
No.
Oh, I thought you did. I thought I saw her twitch.
Well, she's making good decisions though.
She is, but it's the delay.
Yeah.
Because that delay, so like let's say for instance you move, right? And you wait 2 seconds before she moves, you're gonna create that pattern.
Got it.
And within those 2 seconds, it allows her to think about, what about that squirrel? Or what about that dog I was playing with? Tap. Right, good. There you go.
Good girl.
Good. Now you go pause right there. Did we do long leash heel last week? No? Okay, so what I'm gonna have you do here is keep the leash in your right hand and let the rest go.
Like that?
Yeah, okay? You're gonna say heel and you're gonna step over your leash so that it's behind you and you're gonna walk towards Jessica.
Okay. Zoey, heel.
She's going a little bit, yep. Keep walking towards Jessica. Now slow here, keep moving forward, slow. And slow to stop. Okay, so we're gonna work on, yep, now turn here and walk, tap, and watch with your leash, yep. And walk like you're in a heel, tap, turn.
Oh, turn.
Yeah, like that, good. Now pivot. There you go. And then walk towards Jessica again. Yeah, keep forward. Then slow to a stop when you're ready. Good. So I just wanted to see
If she would come to me.
where she's at.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do another batch of 5 with Jessica here. And then after that, we're gonna start talking about long leash heel, which is how I start to build towards off leash heel.
Got it.
Okay? So go ahead and break
Zoey, break.
and swap.
Should I keep at 24 or go up?
You can keep it at 24.
She's conflicted right now. So
Yeah. And like, this is why I recommend that everybody, as much as they can, practice like in realistic environments, because since we drill it so much, like she knows.
Yeah.
So she's like, crap, like I'm gonna get tapped again. So when you start practicing more organically, this stuff goes away
Yeah.
because she's not sitting there in a situation where she knows it's gonna happen.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I had a girl.
Zoey, come.
There you go. Good.
She's getting tired also.
I know, yeah. All that running. Good. And go ahead and pick any directions you'd like. Right, good. 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 Right, good. Try one more. There you go. Good. Add a girl. Yeah. Good. Praise. And break.
Break.
Good. We'll do 4 more.
Zoey, heel.
Zoey,
Good. Right, good, yep, good move, good move. Good. 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 Do 3 more.
Did you have to tap when you were moving back?
Yep, because she wasn't paying attention. That's why I wanted to do it.
Zoey, heel. Hi.
It's underneath.
Yeah.
Zoey, come.
Good. 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 Right. Good girl. Good. Good. We're gonna do 1 more.
Zoey, heel. Trying to untangle it.
Oh, it's wrapped around her leg.
I was trying to be lazy and just
So you thought it was gonna fall through, like just fall out?
yeah, I thought, you know, it would just fall. Hey, hey, hey. Aren't you funny? Zoey, heel. Aren't you funny?
Zoey, come.
Good. Nice. Good. Right, good. Now here, I'm gonna have you do the same thing. You're gonna pop her into a heel.
Yep.
And then you're just gonna step, so the leash is in your right hand, and so it makes like a big U behind you, okay? And then everything stays the same except now she's on the long leash, okay? So we're gonna cue the word heel,
Heel.
and then forward. All right. Now go into slow walk here, yep. And then try doing a crossover. Yep, good, and then pick up your pace a little. Good pivot. Tap. Speed up a little. Tap. Tap. There she goes. Good. Right. Good turn. Now slow walk. There you go. You got it. Good. And slow to a stop. Good. Okay. So now, what I like to do at this stage is start blending the recall with long leash heel. Okay. So questions on the recall.
Oh.
Pretty simple, right?
Yeah.
It's just a few extra steps now. When you do those side steps, I don't do them every time.
Yep.
It's just to test her, see if she's gonna hold, putting that time to see if she's gonna prematurely break. There was a couple times when you stepped away and she got confused and she like ran off. That's what it's more so meant for, to like just kind of proof all those things. Because if you do it too much, she's gonna be super panicked. She's not gonna want to leave your side. Okay. So that's the drawback about recall, is unfortunately, because it is getting the dog to come to us. If we do it too much, then they don't want to go anywhere, and then it's hard to practice anyways. Okay. So one way to help break up the recall practice is by throwing in the long leash heel.
Got it.
Okay.
That makes sense. Yeah.
So like now, let's say I go to the park, I have Zoey, pop her on the long leash. If you want to make it longer, you can put your slip to the end of your leash. Now you have a 26-foot leash or whatever, and I go break, and I let her be a dog. We're walking for like 15 minutes. She's out running around, she's having a good time. So we come, do a recall, add a girl, might do a couple of side steps, good girl, then I'll wait a moment, heel, and then start walking with that long leash. The reason why you want it this way, how you have it set up like this, see how that leash is making a big U behind you? Is if you hold it in your left hand, you're gonna have two lines in the middle. So it's gonna tangle her up. But if you do it this way, it's only one line in the middle, and it keeps it cleaner for the dog. Because if you have both lines in the middle, a lot of times you'll see them doing this, so they have a hard time with it, okay? Everything stays the same. Your pivots, your crossovers, they stay the same. If Zoey gets ahead of you, you would turn, 180 turn, tap, 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 and you just keep walking, right? Now in this case, Zoey now has like a 30-foot mistake line.
Right.
Okay. So the reason why we do this, so you know, if we're building stuff towards off leash, the methods that we're using right now are off leash methods. Okay. The heel, the recall, and all that stuff, they're off leash methods. It's just a matter of, does the owner want to do a little extra work to get the dog to that level?
Right.
Okay. And it's very simple. So you went from the short leash, right, which is a 6-foot lead. So she knows how to correct heel with the 6-foot lead or 6-foot distance. Now, if I'm walking with Zoey and she shoots off, she can get up to 30 feet away.
Right.
And I just keep remoting and I keep moving like I would normally, you know, away from her and walking away from her, because that's what heel looks like. Okay. So for Zoey, you're trying to keep the picture the same so that she can interpret it. Okay. So if we're doing a recall, we need that backwards motion. That's what recall is, right? Heel, if I'm walking with Zoey and she goes off that way, I got to keep this going. I don't want to go into this, because that's not recall. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I keep my movement. What I do is make sure to keep my left side facing Zoey. So if Zoey ran off and then went to my right, and I keep moving and tapping, it's going to be hard for her to look at me and connect that she's supposed to come over.
So you're like just going to turn.
Exactly. Yeah. You would pivot. Now Zoey's on my left, and I can keep moving away and tapping to draw her in.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, if I have a nice open space like this, I leave the slap. Okay? If I see the dog's having a really hard time, then as I'm walking away, I'll tap as I reel in to help give a little bit more guidance. Otherwise, if I'm not worried about them running into anything or whatever, I just keep walking, keep tapping, and you'll see them like take every opportunity, every single direction away from you, until finally find, and they run to you. Okay, that's proofing. Okay, she has to try all the options and be corrected for them, and remoted, and she goes, okay, I tried running this way, didn't work, running that way didn't work, running that way didn't work, stopping didn't work. You know, what happens if I just run back to mom or dad? Boom. Everything goes away. Oh, okay. So what makes it familiar for her is that she's already done this for a few weeks. Now it's just on a 30-foot lead. Okay. Now there's one turn in particular that's very unfair to dogs, but it's a great move for proofing off leash heel. So we have our crossover, right, and then you have your pivot,
right,
and then we have the soft right. Okay. So if you're with Zoey and you just soft right, like out of nowhere, you leave her peripheral range. She can't see you. It's too abrupt.
Right.
So I like to do this. It's unfair. We wouldn't do this in life, but I like to do this with this exercise because I want the opportunity to remote her to see what does she do. Okay?
Got it.
So earlier when I said speed up, that was to see if Zoey would catch up to you or if she would lag.
Okay.
And there was a point where you had to remote her,
Yeah.
and I don't know if you saw, she actually went to your right side.
Yeah, that's where I was like, where did she go?
Yeah, she went to your right side, and I think you tapped her a couple more times, and she shifted and came to your left side, right?
Yeah.
So that was all via remote communication.
Yes.
Okay. So that's the stuff that I want to see. If she makes a mistake, no biggie. But if I remote you, will you fix it?
Yeah.
Okay. So if we're walking with Zoey for this particular turn, it works great if you're walking quickly too. Is you're just going to abruptly just shoot off to the right. You wouldn't do any movements. Okay. So for instance, some clients will go like this, and then this. Okay.
But it just like fluid.
But this step here actually cues to Zoey that I'm gonna do this.
Yeah.
So when I actually turn off and just very abruptly as I'm walking, just turn, right? Real quick away from her. So you're making you're doing a crossover, but the other way.
Right.
Okay? So what we're gonna do here is I'm gonna have you do a long leash heel. I'm gonna have you start with your normal turns.
Okay.
Okay? And then a good one to do also is the crossover into her, because since you're moving into her, sometimes it slows the dog down. They start to give space because now you're moving into their personal space. And then if I complete the turn and she's too far behind, I can remote her to run back to my leg. You want to always keep your movement away from Zoey. Okay, so if she starts to like move away from you, a lot of people try to chase the dog.
Yeah.
Just keep moving away and tapping, just keeping that left side towards her.
Yep.
Okay? Questions? Whenever you're ready.
Yep.
Good. Good pivot. Tap.
Oh, here she should tap this because Zoey was a little laggy.
Yeah, because we want her right shoulder right next to that left leg.
Yeah, because her nose I should see her nose, right?
Correct. Yeah, so speed up here. Tap, 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 tap. There she goes. She's hesitating a little bit. It's okay. There she goes. There you go. That's a good girl. Yep, good pivot. Good crossover. Then I'm gonna have you try an away turn when you're ready. Tap, tap, tap. There we go. You're at 24.
Yeah.
Let's go 28. Good. Away pivot. Tap, tap. Good girl. Good pivot. Let's speed up a little. Tap, 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 tap. There she goes. Atta girl. Good job.
Sorry, that was my bad.
Okay. Tap, tap, tap. There she goes. Good girl. Yeah, because we're putting under more pressure now. Good. But speed up a little. Good. Tap, 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 tap. There she goes. Atta girl. Good job. Good. Okay. So it's simple.
Yeah.
And the real way to to practice it, what I would do when I first was training my guys on remote collar is after they were trained to do all the heel and everything, is I used to walk, because I was in Miami at the time, I used to walk them, and Miami has like really wide sidewalks where I was at, is I would leave them with their leashes dragging.
Oh, okay.
And then so they would all be in a heel with their leashes dragging, so if I need to step on anything, I could. And that's how I practiced it. Like here, if you have a park, what you could do is you just put the long leash on. Once you're past like this phase,
Yeah.
and then, or even on the lakefront actually, because there's that big old long bike trail,
Yeah.
Right.
is you can either get like a 10-foot leash, or you can use a regular leash, or this leash, or whatever, and you just put her in a heel, and she's in a long leash heel with the leash dragging, and you just go on a normal walk, okay? What we're doing here is controlled context to see, does Zoey run to my leg like she's supposed to? Does she speed up when she gets tapped? You noted that she was tucking her tail, and she was kind of pushing back a bit. That's normal, okay? It's because we're putting her under more pressure, and I might even play with the number a bit too, like slowly going up higher.
Yeah.
Because eventually you might get to a point where the number's too high and Zoey wants to get away from it, but then you have to teach her, you don't move away from it, you actually have to move into it and return to my side, okay? And those away movements I only do for this particular exercise, okay? It's not anything that I would do on a random, on a walk or whatever, it's too random, but it's good for here when you're just trying to force the distance so that you have the opportunity to remote her to bring her back to your side, okay? Let's go and swap handlers.
Oh, she's sitting right now.
I know, it's all goofy.
She's still following you. Did you not put her in a
So
break?
try, was she in the break?
No.
She's still technically in the heel actually,
That's
so
what I'm
that's fine.
saying. Still doing her job.
So I have you first, you'll start with the recall, do some side steps, and then go into a heel.
Well, at least we know.
That's
how it
technically
works.
correct.
No, she's doing
That's
the right
technically
thing. That's why I
correct,
didn't,
yeah.
like, argue. I'm like, Zoey, come.
Tap, tap, yep, tap, back, good. Add a girl.
Good girl.
Good.
Good girl.
Right, add a girl. Now before you go into your heel, you want to swap your leash to the right thumb. There you go.
Can you just do this and use this?
Yeah, that's fine.
Zoey, heel.
And then, yep, good. And try walking towards Jessica and pass her with Zoey in between the two of you. Yeah, forward tap, tap, tap. There you go. Good move. There you go. That was good. Good pivot. Good crossover. Try pick up your speed a little. Yeah, there you go. It's a good one. Right, tap, 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 keep forward, tap, tap, keep forward, tap, 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 tap. There she goes, right there. Good, there it is. Good girl.
Yeah, I saw it once you got it.
Yeah, you can see it and she sped up as opposed to holding back. Good, and try walking past, good move, good move. Try coming this way, yeah, and walking towards Jessica with Zoey in the middle again.
Yeah, she went ahead of me, so I just turned around.
Yeah, no, that was correct. There you go. Good.
She was a little conflicted, but she did good.
Yeah. So let's just do a couple more turns. Good crossover. Tap, tap, tap. There she goes. Add a girl. There you go. That was a good one. There she goes. Good girl. Good.
Good girl, Zoey. Good girl.
Good. And you're gonna slow walk and stop right in front of Jessica. Perfect. Okay.
Good girl, Zoey.
So
Girl.
what I was talking about earlier, when you put her under more pressure, a dog's first instinct, either run or kind of slow down, shut down. That's exactly what you saw right there. And then you noted, oh, you saw when she figured it out because she actually moved in and sped up, right? Because she's going, oh crap, right? And she's like, wait, this isn't
And
working.
then she bolted towards me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Would you have stopped when she started bolting? Or
Yeah.
You kept, okay.
The
'Cause
moment
I
you
think
see
I
her go,
tapped one more time when after she
that's
bolted.
fine. Yeah, yeah. It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
But once she figures out, like tap never means again run away.
Yeah.
Tap, if anything,
It's towards.
comes to me. Okay. So if I, like, let's say I accidentally overhit one of my dogs for like getting up from a down and they ran to me, I'm not mad about it because yes, it was incorrect, but if there's an overhit, I would rather they run to me than run away,
Right.
because that's typically whenever anyone's had to use high power levels, it's the dog's running away because they're scared or something, or it's we're stopping a dog fight. Okay, those are the two most common scenarios where people are like, I had to 127 my dog or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, so here, and you're at 28.
28 right
28.
now.
Yep. So keeping her under that pressure until she learns, like, hey, don't move away, move into it. And then the ones after that, she actually was moving faster,
Yeah.
right? Where she was coming straight to your leg.
The number's high enough at this point.
Correct.
Yeah.
So, and then do you know why I was having you walk past Jessica with Zoey in the middle?
To like get her to choose me over Jess because
Correct.
I'm the handler.
Yes. So with couples, very common when they walk past each other, the dog will go to the other person.
Yeah.
Okay. So
That's what we
vice
noticed
versa.
Yesterday,
Yeah.
when we were practicing, she wasn't listening to any of his commands, and finally, she was.
Yeah. So then this is one way of like helping her to clarify, because dogs can recognize your tone of voice. So when you say heel, she's under your command, right? Now let's say you came over, she's in a heel currently, right? You took the gear, and then you said heel and walked away, it overrides his, okay? So when I work with couples, the new command overrides the old command, and it doesn't matter who's giving it, okay? But if I can, like, and you can like really proof these things, where like, I don't know if you've ever seen dogs where they only listen to one specific person. Yeah. And the way we do that is like, let's say I took the leash and I said heel and like walked away with her, we would actually correct her to run back to you to ignore my commands.
Really?
Yeah. Like you can really really fine tune dog training. Obviously that's more so for like the protection dog type stuff. But it gets really specific. But when I work with couples, that's one way to really proof for Zoey your individual commands is like you'll be working with her and then you'll switch, and then you just say heel and you start walking and she's got to detach from him and go to you. And the same thing with the recalls, calling her from each other helps her differentiate between the two voices. Okay? So, questions about any of this?
No, straightforward.
So for this week with your homework, I would say it's best.
Month actually.
Yeah.
Because you're going. Yeah. That's right. So cool. So now you have the full recall.
Yeah.
And now you have you can start doing the long leash heel stuff. Let me think here.
Since we'll have a backyard, my parents have a backyard and it is fenced and everything, do you recommend we still practice with her leash on?
Yes, in the beginning.
Okay.
So, because when you remove the leash, she sees she has more options.
Yeah.
So like when I said if you go from short leash to long leash heel, the dog's going to try every other option
Right.
before they try this, right? That's why we keep that leash on. So same thing for the yard. And it's almost inevitable where even when you switch to no leash, the dog will at some point attempt to not listen.
Okay.
But you've drilled it so much that it's easier.
Yeah.
Because what happens is if I go to no leash too soon and the dog like is in the yard, they'll like tuck in a corner and you'll be like 90 and the dog's just like yipping because it doesn't want to do it and it sucks, right? It's just like it really sucks. So I encourage everybody drill. So once you switch to no leash, it's easier for everybody. Okay. Since I won't see you guys for a month, feel free to shoot me emails.
Okay.
If you have any questions, if you're struggling with something, record it. You can send it to me and say like, hey Jesse, can you take a look at this? More than happy to. And then, of course, recall takes the longest to teach. So you have more time to practice. And then, did I ever go over with you, like once the dog's got a pretty good recall, like how I go about proofing it?
No.
With the high level? Okay. You might get there before the end of the month, depending on if you have the time and all that stuff. But what I'll do is once I've done enough work with the dog, lots of conditioning, lots of practice, is I'll go to the park, long leash, let them be a dog, and I'll max out the collar. Okay.
Really?
You let go of the leash too?
No, I keep the leash in my hand.
Okay.
Why'd you max it out?
Because what we're doing here is
All the way to 127?
127.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So what I do is with no words, I let the dog be a dog, whether they're chasing something, they're running around, whatever. Okay, just completely out the blue. Just 127, pop, pop, pop. Okay. What are you gonna do? She jumps up and runs straight to you. Add a girl. Praise. Act like nothing happened. Lower your number. You're fine. Okay. Or 127, pop, pop, pop. She shrieks and she tries to run away. Now I use 127 to make her return. Okay. And this is with no words. The reason why I do this is if she happens to be off leash, remember that emergency scenario, okay? Firework goes off. It's essentially you're making her more afraid of running from you than she is from running from the object.
Got it.
Okay, that spooked her in the first place. And I've had several clients over 10 years, shit like that happens, and 127 is that magic number, okay? And the reason why I've been doing this now for the past few years is because one, you're exposing her to it, and if she runs away, it's okay. You're proofing it, and you're working her through 127 with 127. Okay, she has to return, so that if
with
there's
the leash, by the way, or I can't remember.
With the leash. Yeah, in your hand with the leash, planning for the runaway.
Yeah.
Okay, so that so kind of like the stuff that we're doing here today. I'm all about forcing mistakes.
Yeah.
Force them. So when she's fully off leash, I'm not worried about it, right?
Okay.
So this is like, and this is at the final like end of it. Like we've done all the homework, so that's easy for everybody. In most cases, if the client has done their homework, it's 127. The dog just yips and runs their butt back. Okay, but if the dog is flighty or a nervous dog, whatever, and they run off, the owner has to use 127 to work them through it. So it's kind of like having a fire escape plan and hoping the fire never happens, right? You've now worked the dog through it, so the dog is familiar with what to do. Right. Two, it also sucks for the human, because people feel bad, right? You go into it and you know what you're gonna do and it sucks. Yeah. But when you're in the moment, you gotta think, you're gonna be panicking. Like she's gonna be panicking, right? Yeah. So if you do this in a controlled context, one, I go, Zoe's already done it before. So I'm not too worried about it. It's familiar to her. Two, now I've done it before. Right, so that in that moment, if something happens, you're just gonna go into like, that mode of this is what we need to do to get you to return, okay? And then after that, you just let her go. Expect her to be a little antsy. Yeah. I just leave her alone and then forget about it and go for a nice long walk afterwards and get it out of her system. Cool. Okay. So you might get there.
That the dog is ready for that.
How do you know?
How do you know that the dog has been trained enough to do that?
It really comes down. I always tell people you'll know, because people ask like, how do I know when I can take my dog off the leash? Yeah. And I tell them you'll know.
Got it.
Because I've had clients, their dog's spot on awesome, okay? And I'll tell them, your dog is off leash trained, and the owner is so paranoid or so nervous that they don't trust the dog. Got it. They don't do it. So then I'll tell them, it's okay, keep training, right? And I had one lady in particular, her dog was dog reactive, and then she did 9 classes. At the end of the 9 classes, everything was great. And I told her, hey, your dog's awesome. Like you could be off leash and all that stuff. And she's like, he'll never be around dogs. I'm never gonna take him off the leash. I don't trust him. And I said, that's fine. I was like, take your time, keep practicing. We solved the problem, which was reactivity. That was her biggest concern. Yeah. And then a year later, she came. I have pack walks here in Lakeview. She came to one of my pack walks, and she had him off leash. And then she's like, oh, he's made dog friends too. Right? But it took her longer than 9 classes with me of practice and consistency and building her confidence and seeing like, oh wow, my dog has come a long way. So that now I just tell people, you'll know. The more you practice, obviously, the faster you're gonna get there. But if you practice once a week, like you'll get there. It's just gonna take you longer than a month. Okay. Other questions?
No, that's it.
Cool. So good job, guys. She did very well today. Thanks. Nothing out the ordinary. It's about what I would expect from her. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, I guess we'll see you in a month. January, cool. Yeah. Hopefully shit's much better.
Seriously.
Have a safe and happy Thanksgiving and Christmas and New Year and any other holidays that might fall in between.
You too.
Okay. Yeah, for sure. And then I think you had emailed us about scheduling with the daycare stuff. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We got those.
A couple days this week.
Sure. Yeah. So we'll see you then. Cool. Thanks, guys.
Cool.
Thanks a lot,
Take care. Enjoy your weekend.
You as well.